Hi there, Gemini. This reading is going to be for Gemini and Libra. It is a love reading. We are going to look at the energy between the connection, how you're feeling, how your person is feeling. I've already laid out some of the cards for you because I do believe this is going to be a slightly longer reading if I didn't already start with what was going on. We're going to do it a layered reading today. So if you are Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Chiron, and if you're interested in a Libra or someone with Libra placements in a prominent area of their birth chart, this reading may be for you. We're going to start with what was going on, and I'll explain everything that's on the table as of right now, and then we're going to get some more detail with the tarot for you and for your person, and then we'll look at the potential outcome or next steps between you at the end. So with that said, Libra is here on the left side and Gemini is on the right side. For me, my right, you're probably your left, and then in the middle we'll explain the energy of the connection. So let's start with the connection. So at this time, I see that there is change between you and your person. Things are shifting. It looks like with the yin energy, this shift involves taking a more soft approach, a more gentle approach to how you communicate with one another, to the words that you use with one another. There could be a change in like how affectionate you're being, or in the messages that you send each other. The word choice is quite important here. It's important and it's changing. So the way that you're communicating over time has evolved. This may be a slightly new connection for some of you, not so much a super long-term one. We have wishing well and observers. So both of you seem to be wishing that this connection work out, but at the same time, you're still, and this is why I say that it's a fairly new connection for most of you. It could be an ongoing connection, but in either case, you're observing one another and looking for signs to see if the other person wants the same thing. So you're both, the energy and the connection is that of like vigilance, but in more of a soft manner, not so much in a worried manner, just in like, well, I wonder if we're moving at the same pace. I wonder if we're both interested in the same things, that kind of thing. Also, you get encouragement and a change in the wind. And again, with movement and change in the wind, both coming out as the energy of the connection, I can say that you should expect big changes here coming up between you and your person. There's going to be a big shift coming up in this connection here, a big change in direction. So like, for some of you, it could be a complete 360. Like if things had been going very slowly, they might start picking up speed. Or you may find out some very important or critical information about your person that they hadn't shared with you before. So yeah, we'll get more with the tarot, but that's so far what I see in the energy for the connection. So again, lots of changes coming up in the near future for both of you. And it seems like both of you have a positive desire or a positive outlook here on where you want things to go in the connection. Okay, so we'll start with you, Gemini, because I feel it's important for you to know if this is your reading right away, so I don't, waste anybody's time. So with your side, what I see here for the Geminis that I'm reading for, You've been treating this person in a much more gentle manner than you normally would. Here with like the moonlight and the milk and honey, I see that you're taking your time. You've learned from past experiences that sometimes the soft and gentle approach is a lot more effective than the direct and tough love approach. So I think that there's been some lessons here that you've learned, Gemini, about how you communicate information. Again, I stress that that's very important here. There's a change, at least on your end, in how you relay messages and information. Like, say that you have to say, no, I don't want to do this, or no, I don't like I don't like chocolate, or I don't like cats, whatever it is that you have to relay to your person. I see here that you've learned better ways of softening that information whenever there might be, like, on the receiving end, some resistance to it. So I see here that you're taking a gentle approach to communication with your person. I see that if there's anything where, like, you have to deliver information that might be difficult to receive, you are better able to do that in a manner that won't be jarring or shocking to the other person. With coming together and exchanging gifts. Oh, can't pick it up. Got it. All right. With coming together and exchanging gifts here, I see that for you, it's important that you have physical touch and affection, and you're willing to open up in that way with your partner, little by little. But you want things to feel balanced, and you want that to come naturally, right? There have been times for some of you where, like, you're not open to physical touch or, like, intimacy at the same rate or pace as your partner, and that's important to you, that things be balanced in that aspect, because for some of you it may be a period of, like, ramping up before you get there with your person. So I just see that there's a sense that that's important between you guys. Physical touch, affection will be important. You may not be there yet, depending on how far into this connection you are, because I do think it's a fairly new one. But that will play an important role in your connection. With Gentle Gardener and Between Worlds, I see that, and that's just below this message about softening how you share information with your person. You could be dealing with someone who is very different than you in some important aspects of life. So, for example, they just could approach problems in a different manner. They could have different viewpoints about either religion or some important topic around politics, etc. And whereas in the past you may have just automatically said, oh, that's it, we're not a match, we're not compatible, you don't see things the way I see them, right? I think that for most of you here, in this case, you've evolved into a place where you're better able to accept and understand differences between you and your person, and gently deliver on whether or not you feel the same, and being more accepting and open to the fact that you can be different and think differently and still respect each other's viewpoints, and not shoot them down or think of them as wrong, and more so nurture each other by saying, we may be different, or we may see this differently. That doesn't mean that you're wrong or that I'm wrong, but as long as we can respectfully disagree, or, like, respectfully understand each other's differences here, we can work through that, right? So I do see some kind of maturing in that respect. Obviously there's some things where that's not possible, like if one of you wants children and the other one does not, that may not be a possible thing that can be reconciled between two people in a long-term partnership, because it would be very tough to do that. You can't just, like, tell the child to live somewhere else and the person, unless they have, like, a separate household. But anyway, just side tangent to stress that despite this evolution in the way that you're thinking and approaching differences, that's not to say that it's for everything. And then with Metamorphosis and by the book, I see here that, again, there's a big change here on your side, Gemini. Something has changed in a very massive way about the way you approach relationships in general. Your relationship and love life is transforming in a major way here. As you meet this person, you're entering into this connection in a much healthier manner than you've ever done before. And you're being careful about going with the flow and letting things evolve in a very natural sense, and not pushing or pulling, and not trying to rush things along. I see that you're being patient, you're being practical, and you are kind of like listening to your partner and trying to maintain a very healthy pace as the relationship evolves here. With Regeneration and Talisman, I see that some of you may have had already some kind of turbulence in your romantic life. If you did experience a recent disappointment in your romantic life here, I do see that things are starting to grow again. Things are starting to evolve from the past challenge. I see that some of you overcame an important challenge or milestone when it comes to this connection, and as a result, things are going to be balancing out for you very quickly in the future. And it might even make the relationship stronger because you've talked through or resolved whatever this past conflict or issue was. It may have sparked some anger or some resentment or some initial triggers or sharp words between you, but I do see here that that is going to be resolved, if not already, and that because of those things, you're growing and breathing new life into this relationship. Whereas before, I do think it's important to mention, whereas before you may have just shut the person out or walked away completely or said, well, I guess that's just not my person. I do see here that something like this may have happened where like there was a difference in opinion, a difference in approach, a difference in perspective, and somehow you guys were able to get through that despite not agreeing completely on the approach or on the outcome or on the viewpoint, right? With new life and coming to life, I do see here again, and especially with regeneration, which we just saw, that if this relationship was in a stalemate or at a difficult spot or having a lull in its progress, new life is coming to your relationship with this person. You're going to see a big transformation here where in the near future things are going to be evolving in a very positive manner, in a very exciting manner, and in a very big way for you. It's going to be almost magical and like easy, and like I get the feeling with this card, I get the feeling of music and like just everything going magically well. So like when a melody of music kind of melts together in a very magical flowing way, that is how I see this evolving into the near future here for you, Gemini. And again, we'll clarify and get a little bit more detailed with the tarot, but I wanted to go through the general energies first. With your person here, so for Libra, we get wide open and co-creation. And you see the owl here. The owl implies wisdom. So the Libra that you're connecting to is a very, very mature and wise person. They understand information very quickly. They have the spark, like they catch things very quickly. They catch wind of things very fast. So even if you think they might not understand or know something, they usually do. They just may not speak it out loud right away. They like to observe from a distance before they take action. They may not be a person of many words, but they can act quite quickly. They can be very quick in responding and in the way that they make decisions, because they take their time to process information, and then when they come out and do something or say it, they've already made up their mind, or they've already weighed the options, etc. Again, you have, your person has a lot of, like, it's a very intellectual person. You have owl again on this card here. Happy home. For your person, for your Libra, it is very important to choose a partner that will bring joy, stability, happiness into their life, and they are someone who will want to partner with you and have you move in with them and have you fit into their home life in a very secure and easy fashion. So they will be looking to make sure that you would be a good fit with their lifestyle, with the, you know, with the way that they like to eat, the way they like to do their home routines, you know, how often you guys travel or don't travel, etc. Whether you want kids or not want kids, you know, those are things that they're going to want to be talking about and understanding about. So this is a person that will ask you a lot of questions. They may not share a whole lot about themselves right away, but they will ask you lots and lots of questions to get to know you, and that should be the clear sign that they are interested and definitely trying to see if a future connection with you is possible and viable based on their requirements or how they see themselves living their life with you into the future. So with magical map shifter here, again, you get the owl for your person again, and these are across different decks. So this is a very intellectual, smart person. They're very educated, knowledgeable, and they're very wise, both emotionally and intellectually. So they're emotionally mature. They've been through long-term relationships. They know what it takes to have true partnership. They may not know you very well yet, but they know the type of relationship they want. They know how it should feel, and they are looking to manifest that into their life. That may be why you guys met, because of this person staying focused and in alignment with their desires for a romantic partnership. I do see here that you are connecting to a Libra that wants long-term partnership. If you notice, both of these cards add up to 7. That's 7-7. They are manifesting at this time. They may have manifested you into their life at this time because they were so focused on not so much the specific person, but the specific type of love and relationship that they want to enter into. With Spirit of Place and To the Sea as well here, I see that this person is not tied down. Your Libra is not tied down at all to a specific physical location. They do value where they currently live at the moment. They do love this place where they live right now, but they're super open to traveling and to moving even across states, across countries. I get that some of them may be considering this with regards to a job or opportunity. They may just be leaving that door open. So if that's something that you're not open to, or for some reason cannot do, it may be something that you should talk about with this person, like up front, to see if you can find a happy medium or a middle ground. Because I do see that there's a big part of their decision making that's focused on possibly moving or considering a move. Here's sometime like within the next year, definitely within the next 12 months. For some of you, that won't be for all of you, but I did get that message as something important to mention. With Ride the Wave and Flexible, again, your person is a very flexible, flowy person. They're very open to like going with the flow, changing up, you know, the place where they live, the car that they drive, their approach to certain things. They like to be flexible, they like to accommodate others, and they do often get to know people first to see how they best approach them. They like to bring joy and stability to those people who they allow into their life. So this will be someone who will be looking to bring balance into the connection, and who will be looking to make changes as long as they're not like massive changes, like reasonable accommodations. They are willing to like be flexible and make reasonable accommodations to please you and to meet your needs and desires as well. there is mending and sacred pool with these two cards. I see here that this person got through a long-term past relationship that was very, like, many years, like multiple year long-term relationship, and they are over that right now, but they are looking to make sure that they don't repeat the errors of the past, or like the failures that they experienced in their last relationship. As I said, this person's quite highly evolved intellectually and emotionally, so this is like a tiny, minute adjustment, but they're making adjustments in their love life, in the way that they approach their love life, to make sure that when they get together with their next person, it is the right person. So you may see that they enter this relationship slowly, very slowly, and take it one step at a time. It's because they're being careful not to repeat past mistakes, and it's because they want to take their time to get to know you. They're not like trying to be short with you or trying to avoid you, but they may just want to control the speed at which you guys connect, or the frequency at which you see one another or talk, to not allow the rose-colored glasses to take over and like distort the way things actually are between the two of you. So I think this is a very evolved person, and they do have positive intentions towards you in this connection. Let's get in the tarot and see if there's any detail that we can find out. We'll start with your person. So your person is going to be communicating with you quite frequently. They're going to be very positive in the way they communicate with you. They might keep things light and joyful when you guys talk to one another. I do get that for some of you, there could have been something that happened where your person may have gotten a tad either like offended, or like they may just have taken a pause to think about something that you did or said. Like something you did or said may have sounded weird to them, or off, or like inconsistent. So they could have questioned something recently that you said, or some action that you took. However, I don't see this escalating to like a super big argument or anything at the time. Like they probably just, oh, okay, well, thanks for letting me know. Or like, okay, just wondering that, wanted to clarify, etc. Like something very light like this. They do have high hopes for this connection. They are willing to take the risk to be open and honest with you, and to try to work through any issues in the connection. However, I do see here that there's some form of, there is some form of like an interaction, a situation that you guys recently went through that caused them to kind of go back into their shell, or get slightly defensive, or just slightly questioning, or stuck in their head a bit. Your person's very preoccupied with keeping things balanced. So what may have happened is they're assessing, like as we started with the energy and the connection, they may just be assessing and reassessing constantly, like, hey, how much does Gemini really like me? Can I trust that Gemini really likes me? Do Gemini's actions match Gemini's words? Like, is my understanding of how Gemini is and operates consistent with how I'm seeing them operate throughout the next few weeks, you know? So I see this person like quite excited about the connection, quite excited about you. They find you very attractive. So they're just trying to kind of keep themselves from getting overly excited, because they don't necessarily want to put you on a pedestal. They want to try to, even though they feel like putting you on a pedestal because they really, really find you like exciting as a romantic partner, they're trying to keep things even keel so that things can progress in a healthy manner. Because in the past, they've made the mistake of getting overly excited and then giving too much too soon before they took the time to really get to know the person, or gauge their level of interest in investing in a manner that would be balanced and reciprocated in this, you know, in the same fashion. So again, your person's just being careful here. That's what I see. I do see them very focused on you. I do see them they see your value. They see you as a high value partner. They definitely don't want to let go of the opportunity to be with you and grow things in the connection, but they're trying to play it cool. That's the sense that I get. They're trying to play it a lot more cool than they really feel inside. Like inside, they're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God, I can't wait to talk to Gemini. But like on the outside, they may just be like, oh, hey, how's it going? What's up? So, but to be fair, they don't want to come off as like super eager. They want to make sure that they don't come off as foolish by like showing way too much affection too soon and then not having you reciprocate or feel the same way. They definitely have some kind of ego here, where they feel like they don't want to look like a fool in front of people. Like they would never want to be embarrassed by their romantic choices, or like maybe like saying too soon, oh my gosh, this person's so into me, or I'm so into them, and then having you just like disappear and not really having been so into them after all. So there's some sense of that here, where they just want to be careful to make the right moves at the right time. All right, so for your side, Gemini, I see here that you are focused on staying balanced and only allowing things into your life that are beneficial and that are not out of whack. So when I say out of whack here, what I mean is like you don't want to let anyone in who might throw you off balance or who might require things of you which are not in alignment with how you operate your life currently. I see here that some of you have had a recent like disappointment in love, where you felt shut out or left out. I see with the Nine of Swords here that sometimes you get stuck in your head with regards to feelings of like, you know, feeling left out or feeling out of balance, feeling like someone doesn't care for you enough, right? Tell me more, Spirit, about this situation. What's going on for Gemini? Okay. Lots of cards at the same time. All right, so yeah, whatever you've been worried about has to do with the way you handle opportunities in love. I feel that the Geminis I'm speaking to are quite picky when it comes to giving out your heart and emotions. You don't easily connect and open up to people on an emotional level because you have all these like requirements that you go through and assess prior to letting anyone in. So in the meantime, you tend to feel sometimes you tend to feel quite lonely when it comes to love. You may have been single for quite some time in the past, or you may have gone through quite a few like relationships that didn't work out. So you're trying to manifest here something beautiful, something that is long lasting, that can go the distance. And you've been changing, like I said at the beginning, you've been changing the way in which you communicate. You've been softening the way in which you deliver your requirements, your like expectations, etc., or the way that you handle differences when things are not necessarily working out in the same way that you had wanted or expected. So I think you're trying to be a little more flexible and less rigid in the way that you manifest the love that you want in your life, or the type of relationship that you want. You may have in the past been very focused on one specific person who was more of an obsession, or like a toxic person who didn't quite have love or your best interests in mind here with the Devil. So like you may have spent a lot of your time and energy communicating with someone that just didn't work out in the past, with somebody who may have been a player, or who may have like strung you along, said all the right things, but then never did those things, never followed through with actions. So yeah, I see here that you guys can be like, very quick to cut people out based on this past experience. You now, like when you approach love, you're like, oh no, I'm not going to fall for that again. Like, I'm only giving my heart to someone if I feel that I can truly trust them. You think about the past, you try to implement the lessons of the past into your current decisions when it comes to love and romance. But at times you do feel a bit confused. Like, sometimes you feel a bit unsure or confused, and you may question yourself, like, hey, am I being too strict about this one thing? Am I being too, I don't know, am I being too rigid? Should I be a little more flexible when it comes to this, etc.? What else for my Geminis? Yeah, I see here that for the Geminis I'm reading for, even though you may feel left out or like not quite abandoned, but like even though you may feel like relationships haven't been working out for you in the past, and like people are never meeting your expectations, or like people are never who they say they are. Like, they might lie, or they might hide parts of themselves that later come to light and cause things to fall apart. I see that you're often the one who does the walking away here, Gemini. So are they really leaving you or shutting you out, or are you choosing to walk away? Because I see a lot here that you choose to walk away, that you're the one that ends things most often in your connections. So yeah, maybe reassess that and why you do it. I see here with the Five of Wands that you've realized, or that you will realize soon, that any level of partnership or relationship will have trouble and turbulent times and require practice and require like working through those tough kinks where there are going to be arguments or disagreements or inconsistent viewpoints. And for something to really be able to go the distance, rather than you just saying like, oh, well, I guess that's just not for me. Like, I can't deal with somebody who snores, or I can't deal with somebody who, I don't know, who doesn't cook, or, you know, I can't deal with someone who's messy, right? And then just shutting them out or walking away, going next, you know. I see here that you've become more willing, or will become more willing to, or you've realized it's important to try to like express those things as needs and desires, and then maybe allow that person to meet you halfway, to make the adjustment, etc. Like maybe they don't like cooking, but they'll order meals, maybe like healthy meals, etc. Or maybe they snore a lot, but they can get a sleep apnea machine, or you guys can sleep in separate bedrooms, you know. So it doesn't need to break the relationship completely, like. But I do feel that some of you are, instead of expressing those needs and desires and trying to work through the kinks in the past, you may have been too quick to like just be like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to change anyone, so I'm just going to move on. So definitely something like that evolving on your side here as you approach this new connection, and the way that you approach problem solving and communication of differences. Anything else? Okay, Gemini, I get the Two of Wands for you. You may be at a distance from your person, or you may just have had like, maybe your person is at a distance physically, or you may just have not connected with them recently. And some of you, because of that, may be a little bit in your head, or like worrying about whether or not things will work out between you, or like when you'll hear from your person next. Not sure if they have some kind of work trip or family thing going on, where they're giving you less attention or less time. From what I got on your person's side, I don't see anything bad, but let's take a quick look to see if there's anything else for your person. What's going on for Libra? Two more. Okay, your person may be studying for something. Your person may have to like learn a new skill, or be studying for some kind of exam, or for some kind of license. They may just have like really tough job requirements at the moment. I do see them having to balance a lot of responsibilities at the same time, so they may just be quite busy. and they got a lot of owl energy. So they, like, for your person, they may be somebody who's a thinker, who likes to read, who likes to educate themselves, and they may just be holed up somewhere, like trying to learn a new skill, or trying to, like, maybe they like reading books, maybe they like reading business journals. Whatever it is, they're very focused on, like, their professional growth at this time. And they are also trying to work on their physical appearance. Like, they may be exercising or starting a new, like, gym regimen. They're actually quite preoccupied with looking good for you, because you may be, for the Geminis I'm reading for, you may be slightly younger than your Libra, or you may just look more fit, etc. So they're actually quite preoccupied with that at this time. They may be looking up ways to kind of like be more attractive, or like be more fit, or be more appealing to you. They may go like get a haircut, get trimmed up if they have a beard, etc. Before they come together with you. But I do see them planning to come towards you. With that said, we're going to go into the potential outcome or next steps in this connection. Spirit, show me what we can expect. What can Gemini expect between them and their Libra in this connection? Expect that the level of emotional investment is going to be increasing significantly here. Don't let pride get in the way. So, like, don't let yourself, if there are differences, or if there has been a disagreement, or if you haven't argued just yet, you may be entering an unexpected argument or dispute with your person. Try not to let your ego be the guide, and remember to, like, try to be softer in the way that you communicate to this person when there's disagreements between you. That doesn't mean to hide your true self, so be fair to yourself and truly express how you feel and what your needs are, but at the same time, just do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if your person pulls back, don't be afraid to kind of reach out to them first and express how you're feeling, or how what they said or did made you feel, what you would need for things to work better going forward when you run into something similar, etc. One more, please. Yeah, nothing will come of the situation here, and don't let your past hold you back. So whatever worries you've had in your past connections, like, don't let yourself repeat that same lesson where the first time that some trouble comes along, or like some disagreement comes along, instead of like telling the truth and being open about your needs and desires, or like what you're not okay with, and giving this person an opportunity to change or to evolve, and then deciding whether or not, they're able to meet you halfway or not, and walk away or stay. Don't try not to repeat that same lesson, and like be open. Don't let yourself, repeat that same lesson, or like not express your needs or desires. Even if it's a tough thing to say, as long as you deliver it with love or caring or like compassion, you should be okay, and it will be well received. Because again, this is the person that you're dealing with who's quite emotionally evolved. They're not gonna react in like a super negative manner, and even if they do, they'll think through that again on their own, and then come back and work it out with you, or at least have a grown-up conversation about it before you guys make a decision. What else here for the possible outcome? Talents, travel. So yeah, your person may just be quite career focused. They may be very good at what they do. And as a result, they may be highly recognized at work. They may be required to travel for work. They may have to go to like work functions or events and celebrations, etc. Your person is seen as like a highly valuable asset. They're seen as like a strong go-getter. They're very bold. They make bold moves. They're not afraid to take risks. And they will be quite honest with you, Gemini. So don't be scared or turned off if they just like tell you some blunt truth, you know? But again, try to be open with them in return, because they do highly value truth. And if they feel that they're being lied to or that you're holding something back, it may throw this person off or cause them to pull away. So better not to be silent with this person. Better to say like something that might be uncomfortable than not to say something at all, or let them like start creating doubts in their head about certain things that were left unsaid. Okay, anything else here? Okay, this is the last card from the current deck that I'm using. Let your spirit guides be your guide. For some of you, you have like an ancestor or spiritual guide that's been trying to guide you or reach out to you, perhaps in your dreams, etc. You may be receiving messages here. Somebody, one of your spiritual guides is trying to connect with you or send you signs and synchronicities and symbols. The number 77 came up for you. It might be important. The number 11, and then of course the number 5 for change. If you're into numerology, you can look up those numbers, or you can just be on the lookout for when you see those numbers coming up. The number 9 has also come up for you quite a few times. So yeah, be open to spiritual guidance. Give yourself opportunities to receive those spiritual messages and nudges by being in alignment, doing things that bring you into alignment. If you like to go to the spa, if you like to get a massage, if you like to just hang out, you know, by your favorite tree, whatever it is that makes you feel calm. Just maybe that moment in the morning when you have your first coffee and you just sit in silence and look outside, you know, anything like that where you might be connecting and receiving messages from your guides is going to be important for you to hear this week and to be open to receive this week. I'm going to pull just one last guidance, a few cards, just to see what your expectations can be between you and your person. So we have teach here. This means this connection, like this person you're connecting with, has a lot to teach you when it comes to love and romance. Like at the very least, you're gonna get a lot of learning from this person. Your person has done a lot of inner healing. They've had you know, long-term past relationships, and they've done a lot of work on themselves. So they're coming with you. They're coming to you with a very evolved mindset and a very open heart, willing to exchange in a fair manner and in a balanced way, and just careful about how quickly they invest or how openly they invest, because I do get the sense that your person is a very loyal person, and once they give themselves or like fully trust you, they are all in. So again, just important for them to like gauge you and whether they can build trust with you from the beginning before letting things take a big swing into the positive direction. Crown chakra. So again, 7, you see the number 7 again is very important for you, Gemini, this week. And with the crown chakra right next to like spirit guides, you are going to be receiving, like if some of you have psychic abilities, or if some of you are quite open to spiritual messages, or can, you know, have like clairaudience, clairsentience, anything like this, you will be receiving downloads and messages. So be on the lookout for that, and don't forget if you're not used to it, because I see that you're highly in tune at this time, and we are near like Halloween when the veil is thinnest, so you could have like a spirit visit you, or you could have a spirit guide try to connect with you through dreams, or like you may hear them try to connect with you, or you just may receive some type of download directly, like a knowing into your head. So there's different ways that information may flow to you. But I do get the sense strongly here that someone in the spiritual realm is trying to give you some guidance. Yeah, and the guidance is about, this is just to close your reading, the last 2 cards here. The guidance that you need here, or that your guides are trying to deliver to you, is that there's something in your heart that you've been holding on to from a past relationship, that causes you to grieve that needs to be released. There's something important that you've been holding on to. It may not be consciously, but it could be like a fear, a grudge, anything like this. Something that someone did to you in the past causes you hurt to this day and causes you to look at others that come into your romantic sphere in a guarded manner and with like a preconceived mistrust. So it's important for you here to rest and reconsider, to like really take the time to work on that healing before you come into new connections, or as you're entering this new connection, just making sure that you're not overreacting or overly defensive or overly sensitive when reacting to certain things that could trigger you because of a past experience, right? So just being gentle is quite important here, being gentle with yourself and with this person you're connecting with, not getting quite like defensive or suspicious right away if they're not like being super communicative, because I do see that they're not having any bad intentions, or like I don't see them playing games. I see them as a very serious, straightforward person who wants the best outcome and is just getting to know you slowly but surely. So that is all that I have for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, it would help me tremendously if you give the video a like. It goes a long way, so I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you.